Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to make this very vintage-looking envelope. How did I call this? I called it an envelope pocket tag, and it has a little mini journal inside. I love stenciling. Do you love stenciling? I stenciled the tab, and I also stenciled the envelope. Put a little price tag on here with a flat back pearl, some beautiful ruffly lace, a fussy cut rose, some little ribbon here, little light pink ribbon. Oh, I love how it turned out. Now you could pop this into a pocket. You could leave it as is and use it as a standalone. You could tie it or place it on top of a journal. You could give it as a gift. You could glue it onto maybe a front cover because it is a little heavier of a journal, and then use another, glue it only in two or three sides, and then use it as another tuck spot. So there's so many things that you can do with it. Now, I did not do a thing to the back except for inking it up because I thought it needed to be smooth so that you could slip it into a pocket, or you could glue down just a couple of sides so that you can get something slipped in back behind for another tuck spot. Or you could actually journal on here. If you were giving it as a gift, it would be really cute to journal on the back. Let's look at the little journal inside. I embossed it too. Not embossed. I stenciled. I'm sorry. I stenciled it. I love stenciling. Now, we're stenciling with this is what I use, or what I have used. It's molding paste. The brand name is Golden. And it's semi-opaque acrylic texture medium satin finish. Okay, so that's what I used for this. And I just love it. I also used my, let me get it here, my milled lavender Distress Oxide Tim Holtz ink. And that's where this pink comes from, that pink color. And of course, I inked around the edge with my frayed burlap. A little fussy cut, a little lace, satin ribbon, flat back pearl. Oh, goodness gracious. Now let's look inside. I did something else a little different. I added some net in here just, I don't know, just to make the feel of the vintage kind of vibe happening. Yeah, I just thought, well, that's something different, and I think it's really cute. And then it's very plain, lots and lots of journaling space. This would even be perfect for a Valentine's card. I mean, yeah, like seriously, it is really, really sweet. So what I did, I was playing around trying to come up with what I was going to make. And I first stenciled on this side of my envelope instead of this side. I was just trying to work things out and trying to figure out what I was doing. Now what I'll do with this one is I'll probably put another tab on it, and I'll decorate up this side. And then in that way you could pop it into a pocket in your journal. And then I would leave this one, I might stamp it, but I'll leave it fairly plain and then put something in the pocket. That way you could slip it in to, if you've got this all decorated up and you've got it all like this, that's just really hard to get into a pocket. Also, you could put a flip on it, and you could flip it out on a page of a journal, and then, put things in and out of the pocket. So this is how I kind of started with trying to figure out what I wanted to make. So I started with some white envelopes, and I coffee dyed them, as you can see here. I coffee dyed my white envelopes. And let me put this somewhere. I guess I'll just stick it right there. And what I did was I glued the inside flap. So let's just do that. I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to add my glue on my flap like this. And then I'm going to stick it inside of my envelope. I'm going to glue it down. So I've got my flap inside of the envelope. It does a couple of things in there. Instead of just cutting it off, you've got that beautiful color of the coffee, and it does make it sturdier. I am going to glue down this area right here. Sometimes your envelope will come apart a little bit when you coffee dye it and you add all that moisture, but just glue it back in place. Okay, we've got that. Well, now it's another piece has come undone, so let me fix that. And then make sure that when you do add that glue that you go back in and you make sure you're not gluing your envelope shut. Yeah, a little bit got inside. Okay, so the next thing that I did, now we're gonna make this one right here together, or something similar. So I've got my stencil. Now someone's going to say, where'd you get that stencil? And I'm going to say, who knows where I got that stencil? I got it a long, long time ago. I have no idea where I got it. I have no idea if it's still available, but there you can see it better. It's really kind of cool looking. So what we want to do is, it's kind of like stenciling with your sponge, and you hold it in place and you put your colors on. This gives a little more rise in the texture. So let's open this up. This is how it looks inside. I have a little tool right here. I got this tool from, I think it was Hobby Lobby. It's called Artist Loft, and it's got this little, it's like a mini trowel. I don't know what they call it. I'm sure somebody will tell me. But you're going to have to hold this as still as possible. So I'm going to place my fingers here. Another thing, I don't want to put any of the stencil here, because that's where I want to keep it smooth so that we can put our little booklet inside. So I think I like something like this, and I'm going to start at the top. So I'm going to get a little bit of this on my trowel, and let's just lay it down, and we're just going to push it and just push it around. And you can see when it starts filling in the holes, the spaces. You don't have to get every single space. Just cover what you like. Oh, did you hear Judgy? I think he just got up. He is a big dog. That's why you can hear him breathing and snoring and all that stuff. He's a very big dog. All right, now, ooh, I'm going to turn it just a little bit just so I can get us situated here. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't do this very well until I got this tool right there. And that tool just really made it so that, sorry, I hope you can still see, made it so I could really do this. I tried other things and it just wasn't working for me. Now, I'm at the point where I'm going to lift it up. So try to lift it in one motion. Well, I got stuck. Peel it off. There. Oh, not bad at all, right? I think that looks pretty doggone good. Now I do need to go wash all this up before it dries, and we're going to have our little stenciling dry too. We're also going to need to stencil our tab. So maybe before I wash, I need to set this over to the side, and we need to do our tab, and then I can go wash. So we'll do the tab together. Just give me a moment. All right, I do need to work rather quickly. I don't want any of this to dry. So I've got a piece of cardstock. It's pink. I folded it, and now I'm going to put it in my whale punch. I'm going to punch out my tab that we're going to use. It popped right out, didn't it? And I'm going to ink it up because that's just the way we're going here. I'm just going to ink mine up. If you ink, great. If you don't ink, great. You do what you need to do. So getting that on there like this. Alrighty, so then let's bring our little stencil back in. Now, I'll make sure, yeah, it's this side. I only want my words on here, so I'm gonna pop this down like that. So it gets even a little fussier doing it on a tab, but you can do it. It is doable. I'm going to open up my molding paste, get a little bit on, like that. Like right here's my best option. Put it on there. Okay, now let's lift it off. Ta-da! That looks great. Okay, now it's time for cleanup and drying, and then we're going to continue. We're going to make this adorable piece together. All right, so we've got our stencil and it's all dry. Now we're going to have to do a little bit of inking. So I'm going to start with my frayed burlap, and I'm going to go around the edge of my envelope. Someone's going to ask me what size this envelope is. It is 6 1/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, but you can do whatever size envelope that you have. That will work just perfectly. So I'm doing the inside of my pocket here. So just putting it down, and yeah, I'm going to go a little bit in towards the center. I'm not just sticking to the outside. It really makes the stenciling pop. And adding some on the back as well. Okay, now we're going to switch, and we're going to bring in the milled lavender. Let me get my sponge for that. Oh, here it is. It's on my desk. And we're going to apply it where the frayed burlap isn't. Not totally. We're just going to put it here and there for a pop of pink. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I'll lift it up so you can see. See how that looks? Oh, that's so very Victorian and very shabby, right? And I'm actually going to put a little bit on the back, just a tiny bit. Alrighty, now we've already inked up our tab before we even put our stencil on it. Now, sorry about all the hand movement, but I got to move that out of the way. And we are going to be decorating this now. I've got a little bit of stencil on here. I don't know if I can get it off or not. I would like to get it off. I didn't notice that, or I would have gotten it off before it dried. Yeah, it's coming, so it's smooth. It's still on there, but it's smooth. You're not going to be able, it's not going to bother anything. Now I have some adorable lace. It looks like this. It was 2 parts. Let me see. Here. It was 2 parts like this. It was a double ruffle. A double ruffle. and I just cut the two apart. So basically, so I could make it go further. And the bottom one, of course, is longer than the top. And this is the top part of the ruffle, so it's not longer, shorter, not as wide. And it's already been pleated, but I just wanted to have that look with the machine and the black stitching. And it also is going to keep it from like stretching like out of control. I want to place my little ruffle right here on my opening of my envelope. Now, I don't think there's a right and a wrong. I could be wrong. There could be. I think I'll easily do it this way, and you can see. I'm hoping that you can see me if I do it this way. So I'm going to use my hot glue gun. It's a Sure Bonder, and it has that tip on it. It's a high temp Sure Bonder glue gun. It is electric, and I'm going to place that on there like that, and then I'm going to lay my lace on here. Now I use hot glue in my videos because it's quick, easy, and once I get it glued down, we can continue on with the craft. Because if I use a different kind of glue, sometimes I just struggle with getting it to stay in place once I glue it. Alrighty, so then I'm going to take just a little tuck right here at the point of my opening of my envelope, a little pleat, shall we say, just a little one to make the corner. Like that, always checking that you can still get inside that envelope, because it's very easy to accidentally glue your envelope shut, and we don't want to do that. So just going along here. A little bit more glue right there. The thing about hot glue guns is that, yes, they will burn you. You must be very careful. But if you put the hot glue down on your paper, you better be ready to put your piece on there. The people who say hot glue doesn't stick, they're waiting way too long to apply whatever it is that they're going to put on top. You have to put it on right away. Now I'm going to trim this off, and I'm kind of seeing how I want to do that. I'm trying to take it straight. I'm actually going to save that little tiny piece, believe it or not. Okay, and we're going to trim that one off. And then, put that over there. Don't need that anymore. I'm going to glue this side down. I don't want it flapping. I would rather have it in place. So I'm going to glue that edge down. I'm going to glue it down on this side too. No flapping. Okay. Super cute, super cute. All right, so then let me bring my little dish in. I prepped a few things here. And I have a little bit of just some flat lace, and it is a white lace. I'm going to cut myself like a square, rectangle, something that we can kind of pleat, smoosh on here right there at that point where the envelope is. I've got my fussy cut here, and we're going to apply this fussy cut on there. I also have made a little pink satin ribbon, and I tied it with some thread, and I took a mini price tag and I inked it up. I changed out the tag's string. You know, it comes with well, it comes looking like this, and I changed out that string and I inked it up with my frayed burlap, and then I applied 2 flat back pearls on both sides. And the reason why I did both sides is because, you know, this might flip, and then it's just as beautiful on this side as it is on this side. So that's just a little extra added thing. So let me see here. Let's do our lace first. So I'm going to apply, now let's make sure we don't have anything. Okay, I'm going to stick this. This is our little cheat sheet that we're going to use later. I'm going to stick this in here just to make sure I don't accidentally glue it shut. And I'm going to add just a little dollop of hot glue here. I'm going to take my lace and I'm going to just kind of twist it on, just so it has a little bit of movement. Yeah, we're still moving. We're doing good. And now we're going to pop our rose right on there. Before I do that, I'm kind of seeing, where do I want this bow to go? I'd rather have it go down here on the outside. Maybe that's not the exact rose I want. I'm not sure I like the way that looks there. I've got some other roses here. There's this one. That one's a good one. Yeah, I think this one's too big with others. I'm not sure this one's big enough. Let's look at this one. This one's kind of big. The leaf looks like it goes up like that. Yeah, too. It looks upside down to me doing it that way. Trying to find one that's going to work. I kind of like that one better. I don't know. I think if I would cut away all this blue, but that might be used for another project, right? So I think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to change out that rose that I had selected. And I'm going to take my little sponge, whoa, and I need to just take off that bright white where it was trimmed and cut out. And then I'm not going to put that underneath. I think I'm going to pop it right there. So I'm going to glue this on. Just add a little bit of glue right there and glue that on. Now I've got my price tag and I want it to be on there too. Now I put a little knot. Can you see I put a little knot right there? And I did that so that I can kind of turn it at that point and glue it down. And the knot's going to just kind of help hold it in place a little better. There, at least in my mind it will. Then let's get our bow. And I didn't tie a knot in the bow. I used the thread to hold the bow together. Adding my glue. I'm just going to pop it right there like that. Oh, that's super cute. Let's push it down. Make sure it gets stuck well. Super cute. Now I've got a little flat back pearl. Do you see the tiny little thing? I'm going to put it right in the middle of my bow. And there we have that. Oh my goodness, isn't that adorable? Here's the one that I made earlier. So it's very, very close to the same. You know, things aren't exactly the same, that's for sure. Now we need to put our tab on it, right? Right there. Oh, that just sets it off, being that beautiful pink color. Now I want to get my tab placed in the middle the best I can. I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this. And I'm going to glue both sides of my whale tab. Get my cap back on my art glitter glue. And then I'm going to slip this in just like this. And let's get this glued down. Super duper cute. Oh my goodness, that just really, that little tab with the stenciling on it, that just took it to another level, didn't it? Just up the game. All right, so for our little booklet and our pocket, oh, looky there, we're glued a little too much. It came up open. It's good. Yeah, I glued it just a little bit right there. I have a piece of coffee dyed cardstock and I trimmed it so it will go in nicely into my envelope. And then I took one piece of coffee dyed copy weight paper and I made my pages and I rounded the corners, and so they'll fit right inside my booklet, and then it all fits right inside of my envelope. But we're going to do a little bit more stenciling, right guys? I don't know if someone's going to ask me what size this is. I just know it. So I'm going to tell you. It is 8.5 by 5. And I've got cardstock and 2 pieces of copy weight paper. I have inked around the edges. And let's get that stenciling thing and on my tools, and let's do a little bit more stenciling. All right, so I have all the tools ready. All we need is the cover, the cardstock. And all we're going to do is stencil this front part. We're not stenciling the back, okay? So I am going to open it up though, so it will lay a little flatter. And I also feel that I don't want to apply my molding paste right here, because this is where I'm going to put another little rose and some lace. So I don't want to have that be there. I want it to lay a little flatter. So as I apply my molding paste, I want to try really hard to remember not to put any right there. Maybe it would be best if I hold my fingers there, and then that will tell me don't put anything right there. All right, so let's open up our molding paste and let's get to applying it. So I find this to be very fun. It is very messy though. Yeah, you're gonna have to realize that. I ordered, and I think 2 more stencils. I don't have very many. I ordered 2 more, and when they come, oh, and I ordered some baby pink molding paste. This stuff right here, this white stuff, I ordered some baby pink, and I just think, oh, I think that would be super pretty, especially on cardstock, coffee dyed paper, not cardstock, coffee dyed paper. I think that would be so pretty. So when that comes in, we'll have a session together and we'll make something with it, because I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So getting it down. Can you hear Judgy? He's just snoring away. He's so funny. Okay. Oh, and there's Frankie Francine. Well, I'll take care of her while this is drying, because you know we're going to have to let this dry before we continue. So I'm just scraping off the excess, putting it on there. Now let's lift it up. Oh, goodness. That is gorgeous, isn't it? Listen to him. He is so funny. Okay, let me get this cleaned up. Take care of those crazy animals. I'll be right back. Okay, our stencil turned out beautiful. Now it's time to add a little bit of our milled lavender. So we're just going to go around certain areas. Oh dear, why did that pop up? Just a second, it's my computer. Okay, hopefully it's not going to bother anything, and we're still recording. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, here we go. We're just going around, just here and there, adding some pink, just to pop that color a little bit, pop that stencil. Oh goodness, that's just looking lovely. I'll pick it up so you can see it a little closer. I actually think that I might like to add a little bit more of the, sorry about all the hands, the arms, the frayed burlap. So just to kind of show it up just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, now I'll pick that up so that you can see what that looks like. I'm just getting that out of the way. This is going to be the cover for our booklet. So pretty. There, you can really see it well there. All right, remember we left this space open for a little bit of decoration. I have a little bit of that larger lace that I showed you, and I want to add that right down here at the bottom. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. I'm using my hot glue there, and I'm just going to kind of scritch it on just like that. I think I'd like to add a little bit more over here, stretch it out maybe a little bit more, cover a little bit more area. And then I have another piece of that flat lace like I did before, but it looks like it's maybe a little big for this area, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit. That's a better size. Now I'm going to bring in my little stick, and I'm going to add my glue, maybe about right there. Then I'm going to kind of scritch this up. Just a little bit of movement in the lace. Now I've got two of the fussy cut roses. I'm not sure which one I want because we're going to put a bow like we did before on the bottom, kind of in this area. I'm just trying to see. This one allows me, the way it's trimmed, to maybe put that bow. No, I don't want that bow inside, that's for sure. I don't know which one I want. Let's see. Let's try this one. This one's bigger. Looks like a camellia. I like them both. They're both pretty. Actually think maybe I want this one. The bow seems a little big. I don't know if I can make it. Yeah, I can make it shorter, smaller. Sure I can. Yeah, that's more in proportion. Okay, I think I'm going to glue the bow on first. So I'm going to add my glue. I'm going to get my thread and my little streamers of my bow to come down. There we go. So now it's on my fussy cut, and now I can kind of place my fussy cut where I want it. So everything's all in one piece. I'm going to add my hot glue because it's going over the lace and pop that right on. Now I need to do a little trimming here because remember this is going in our envelope. So I need to get this in our envelope. So I'm going to trim it just a little bit. And I've got a little tiny flat back pearl right here that I want to put on the center of my bow. Whoa. There we go. Whoa, maybe. Get off my finger. There we are. There we go. Okay. So it looks just like that. Super cute. I've got a glob of glue right there. I'll clean it off later. Maybe. I don't know, it's bugging me, so I'm taking it off now, huh? There, now the pearl is shiny. It kept the pearl from being shiny. Okay, I think that looks like a beautiful cover to our little flip book. Now here are the pages that we have, that I made, and I'm going to pop them in here. But remember, I put a little bit of net. So what I did was I cut a strip of my net, and this is about 1.5 inches. I didn't measure. I just had this laying around, and I thought, oh, this would be super cute if we put it inside. Now I can see that some of my width is going narrower. It's not perfectly cut by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to pop it on there just like that, and then I'm going to lay my page down where I want it. It's a little bit fussy doing this, but I think it just makes it look super cute. Now it's pretty skinny here. It's getting skinnier and skinnier. Did I do, oh, now I don't remember. Did I do one on each one or just the, no, I just did the center and the, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. The center and the first. So let's do the center and the first. So there's the first, we just did it, and let's get our 2 pages on. And now let's do the center. This is where it's getting really skinny. How's the other end? Pretty skinny. I think I need to cut a little bit more because that is way too skinny. So let me get that net. So here's that net that I'm going to be cutting. And I'm going to cut it off camera. I just want to show you. It's that flat net, okay? All right, I cut 2 strips that are wider than this one. So we're going to use my new strips and just placing it for the front and the inside. And then I'm going to get my little paper clips. And we're going to use our cheat sheet. You guys, if you're new to my channel, I always do this when I sew in a signature. I get a strip. Now this one's super long because of the net. I wanted it to be longer, but usually it's 1 inch to 2 inches. And you make it as long as your journal. Then you fold it in half the long way, and then in half again, and then one more time, and you crease it really well. And right where the folds intersect, that's where I usually put a mark, but because I was doing it off camera, I didn't mark it. You put your holes, or you mark your holes where your holes are going to go, where the folds intersect, and then it's just, it does the math for you. It's like super, super cool, right? I could add something up 2 times and get two different totals. So yeah, it's really helpful for me. So that's what I always use. Now I'm going to work at this, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna have to do this again because it's not cooperating with me. So let me get this situated and I'll be right back. The paper's arguing again. All right, I got it all situated and it's all ready to sew in. I have my needle with my bookbinding thread. We're gonna go in. No, we're not. We're putting our hole in first. I got way ahead of myself. We're gonna put our holes in first. Oh goodness, it's comedy hour again. Holes in first. And it's going through that net. It's also gonna help make this little booklet sturdier because it's just, 2 copyweight papers and 1 cardstock. So it really will add, even though there's not a lot, going on, it will hold it together well. So going through, and you do need to keep this flat. You don't want it to be puffed up or anything. Now we're going to go in the center hole. There we go. Pull it through. And then check to make sure it's not caught on anything. And then let's go ahead. I'm going to take my needle off, put it in my holder over here. Whoopsie. There we go. And then tie a nice knot. Now if you're using embroidery thread, it works great, but you will need to leave your booklet open with a little dollop of liquid glue to make sure that the knot does not come loose. It will on embroidery thread, and then your signature will become wiggly, and you don't want your signature to become wiggly. Now I don't want all of this hanging out. I just want maybe just a little bit, and I really don't want to cut it real straight. I kind of like that look of being kind of cut crooked is fine. See, it sticks out just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Now let's pop. This is the one that I showed you, my example. And let's get our booklet here, and then let's pop it in just like this. Oh, they're so cute. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.